right, today is March 4th, 2026, and this is our 5 o'clock Fiscal Court work session. Please join me in rising for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. At this time, I'd like to welcome Reverend Brewer up. I believe he's going to give us a blessing, hopefully. Thank you for being with us, sir.
Thank you. If I might, just a moment before I pray, I want to express appreciation to Franklin County Ministerial Association for your participation in the M.L. King worship service in January and the support of the Fiscal Court. It says a lot to us, and our ministers appreciate that so very much. Your remarks were very well spoken and were very important.
Thank you very much. I look forward to that event every year, but thank you.
Almighty God, we acknowledge your presence here with us today. And Lord, these are troubled days, troubled for our country and troubled for our world. I do pray that you would give wisdom and guidance and discernment to our leaders, and they might find a way through for peace, that we might learn how to be followed more the spirit of Martin Luther King Jr., but also of our Lord Jesus Christ. I do pray and I thank you for our magistrates and for their officers. This day, their work today might make a good impact upon our community and upon the citizens therein. We thank you again for your love and grace and presence with us in your holy name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir, very much. Have a great evening. Thank you. All righty, next we'll go public comments. Do we have any public comments with us tonight? All righty, seeing none, we're going to go ahead and have a presentation from Anna Claire Rogers, I believe, that's going to talk to us about some invasive task force things that they've been working on. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. I really appreciate y'all having me. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. So once that gets up.
You have a slideshow or something? Andrew?
Yeah, I do have a slideshow, sorry. Do I need to do something?
No,
Okay.
there he goes.
Great. All right.
Hopefully he'll go with you.
My name is Anna Claire Rogers, like you said. I'm an Extension and Research Associate with Kentucky State University's Forestry and Natural Resource Program. I also serve on the Franklin County Task Force. In that role, I kind of help them build capacity for their work here in the county. And today I'm here to present on what they've been up to the past year. So if you'll go to the next slide, we'll jump right in. So to make sure we're all on the same page before I begin, I could do like a whole hour on the problem with non-native invasive plants, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm just going to hit a couple of high points just so everybody knows. Characteristics of these invasive plant species include aggressive spreading tendencies and once established rapid growth. So as you can imagine, that brings some problems, and some of those problems include loss of biodiversity on the landscape, loss of cultural heritage, costly impacts to agriculture and forestry, as well as our fisheries, increased maintenance costs in our public parks and our rights-of-ways, which I'm sure y'all know all about that being part of this. That QR code, if people can use it, is a field guide to Kentucky invasive plants that was created by the Kentucky Invasive Plant Council and UK Forestry. I passed out a copy to each of the members so that you can have that on deck. If you want to go to the next slide. So just a little background about the Invasive Task Force, formed in the spring of 21 by joint resolutions of the City of Frankfort and Franklin County Fiscal Court. I'm sure you all know this. We meet quarterly to discuss ongoing and future invasive plant management efforts across the city, county, and region. And next slide. And so what we've been doing, so volunteer engagement. Remove Invasive Partnership is kind of the citizens action arm of the task force. And this year it hosted 6 what we call work parties where we do volunteer work in our local green spaces. We had more on the schedule, but the weather does not always align with us. And predominantly where we worked in the past year was East Frankfort Park. And I wanted to highlight, actually down here at the very bottom photo, there is Trillium coming up in East Frankfort Park, which is a park that used to be known for its ephemeral wildflowers. But with the increase of bush honeysuckle in its mid-story, it's getting shaded out, and there there aren't really any more wildflowers there. But we're removing and we're seeing the impact of that removal in this wildflower repopulation, which is super exciting, really good for the community to be able to see that, and just makes a beautiful space, right? But we've also worked in places like Cove Spring on campus at KSU, Thoroughbred Trail, and we've worked at some private residences as well. So be on the lookout for some of those coming up. Next slide, please. So education and awareness, every year we participate in Bradford Bounty Day, and that is an opportunity for folks who have Bradford pears on their property to cut them down and bring in a photo to prove that they did it, and they get a native tree replacement. And last year, we collected 85 photos of trees that were cut down in Franklin County, and they exchanged that in for a native tree replacement that hopefully they wouldn't put on their property. Okay, next slide. We also created a new website to host all of these great resources that we're collecting. That QR code goes to it if folks can use that. And that was an undertaking that took a while and a lot of input. So I hope you'll visit that website and use it. So next slide, please. Okay, and then the ongoing big upcoming task that we have is we've been partnering with local folks, both private and public, to mediate the kudzu populations that are in Franklin County, at least the ones that we know about. I'm sure as we progress, we'll learn about more. I'm sure there's more out there. But we have 6 sites that we're looking at. Partners include Buffalo Trace Distillery. There's a pretty big kudzu population on their trails behind on the river. We're working with Castle and Key Distillery as well. Frankfurt Public Works and some of the right-to-ways, getting permission from them. And then several private landowners and farmers. So something I'm working on this year is getting a souped up like ATV to just knock some of this stuff out and spray. So that is on the horizon. And next slide might just be, for me, I just wanted to say next steps. We're going to continue with our work parties. We've already had 2 this year, and we're going to have another one this month on the 21st, location to be determined. And we will also be seeking, more opportunities to collaborate with both the public and private sector as we move forward. So I just wanted to give you all an update. Last week was National Invasive Species Week. I wanted to come last week, but I was recovering from COVID, actually, and I wasn't able to be here. But yeah, that's our year update. That's what we're working on. And yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you for coming in. I think this is a very important topic, and I feel like in the last couple of years, the community is starting to get educated about it and really realize what it's doing to our landscape. So, Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you for coming. So, it's my understanding that kudzu grows about 1 foot a day?
And I'm from Alabama, and it grows 2 feet a day in Alabama.
So that's a huge issue for us. And I know during the last court term, Judge and I went and worked with RIP out at Lakeview Park. And then many of us have worked at a lot of different places. So if you can continue to let us know, when, because we typically get emails about it. So just don't forget to get those to us.
Have you been getting them? I've kind of taken over some of the...
I did last year, but certainly we haven't done anything so far.
Sure.
So, and I never know whose hands, now are going to, because everything changes in the organization.
And I can make sure that y'all are on that
So I
email
just
list.
don't want to lose sight of that because I've been to Dolly Graham, I've been out on the Elkhorn, I've been in a lot of different places doing
we're going to be doing some efforts out at Dolly Graham in April as well. So I'll make sure that folks are informed.
Any other questions, concerns, comments? Squire Wisman.
Mr. Rogers, thank you for being with us. Imagine maybe you have a little perspective. This has been an ongoing and building topic of interest in this community.
But I wonder how impactful or how much their interest is sort of more broadly in the region, and especially maybe here in the Bluegrass. I'm always trying to think, as a capital community, what can we do to set a precedent that can translate to other counties and other cities? And I'd like your perspective.
So I do want to say that I'm going to start actually from the top down first. So invasive species are now a USDA priority within this administration. So there's going to be opportunities for, hopefully, for communities to become engaged in that with like grants and things like that, since that is becoming more of a national topic in our, our agriculture security and forestry security, things like that. So I do know that, throughout Kentucky, there is a growing interest in it. I know that the Kentucky Invasive Plant Council, which I serve as secretary on that, is very active, and we're actually in the process of confirming a new list. So Kentucky, the state, does not have a list that it operates off of that could, that could inform legislation. There's just a list that the Kentucky Invasive Plant Council, which is made up of volunteers, creates. And the last time we made one, which I wasn't on it, was 13 years ago. I was like in high school the last time that they made a list. So that's upcoming. Just as far as being engaged, I mean, I would love for maybe there to be some public-facing events potentially that we could partner on. We've had thoughts about, there's county and city properties that might have mature invasive plants on it, and could we do an event where we remove that and replace it with something native just to get the awareness out? Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of partnering with public-facing entities. Did that answer your question?
Mostly,
Okay.
yeah, but there's not, to my knowledge, sorry, I'll put that on. Currently, there's not any community, to my knowledge, that has outlawed effectively the sale of everything that's in this book, right?
Yeah.
And the state hasn't done that, but are we moving in that
Yeah.
direction? It seems like there's some talk with the legislature currently.
Yeah, there is. I do not pretend to be privy to those conversations, but I do know that there is an opportunity coming up for there to be more of a legislative push for, this is what we define as an invasive plant species. These are the ones that we're going to not allow on the landscape. So that's something I believe might be pushing through this summer, is the last I heard. But I don't know all the details about it. I know that we are in support of it. But yeah.
I do know, Squire Wiseman, locally, we've had some conversations about passing some ordinances as far as even our garden centers and the box stores, as far as not selling the items that we're having problems with. So, that's something that's being worked on.
Yeah,
We talked about it last year.
Yeah,
In this body.
Yep.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's always a tough conversation if you do, especially if you don't have that legislative list that you can work from. But I do think that, I know that is something that the state is working towards. Who's going to hold it is kind of what the question is.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming in and talking to us, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
There's a fish fry in KSU. So.
Tell them we said hello. We were supposed to be there. We couldn't make it. All righty. Next, I believe we have Bluegrass Community Action Partnership. Mr. Troy Roberts is with us. How you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I'm here today for two reasons.
Pass out some information.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, please.
I guess
Thanks,
Mr.
Mike.
Feldman's his Vanna White.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Mike serves on our board. I do appreciate that he's here with me today. I'm here for two reasons. One, I look at the numbers of people that we serve every day, and I make the assumption that everybody knows what we do. Over the last couple of months, I've been attending meetings, and I get questioned about things. I'll go, but we do that. So that's one of the things that I'm here to tell you a little bit about what Bluegrass Community Action Partnership does. And the second is a thank you for supporting us. Mike's passed out the agency brochures and a design brief for our entire agency. Bluegrass Community Action Partnership, or BGCAP for short, we are a 501c3 private nonprofit that was established in 1965. So we've been around for a long, long time. Our service area consists of 9 counties that include Franklin, but some of the programs that we operate go outside 9 core counties. Our mission is to use our dedicated resources and community partnerships to reduce the causes of poverty and its impact on people's lives in our community. We have 325 employees spread out over 14 counties and more than 20 field offices located in our service area. Our central office is located right here in Franklin County, over in Industrial Park Number 3, 111 Professional Court. All of you have a standing invitation. Anytime you're in that area, please stop by. We partner with many nonprofit organizations, churches, and ministerial associations in our area. We operate many programs, and because of that, in 2019, BGCAP applied for and was selected as one of 10 agencies across the nation to participate in the National Community Action Partnership's Whole Family Approach Institute. This was a training that lasted 3.5 years. And what it was is it taught us to break down our internal silos. And what I mean by that is because we do so many different programs, we've gotten in a habit of somebody had to go to this office to get this service. They had to go to this office to get this service. And none of our folks could tell somebody how to get, that there were other services available. So we've made a lot of strides trying to fix that. But you guys want to know about Franklin County. You don't want to know about all the counties that we operate in. And, I understand that. Community services is one of the programs that we operate. They do, part of that is utility assistance. They do the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, or LIHEAP. These are just Franklin County numbers, okay? Just Franklin County numbers. Last summer, for LIHEAP summer subsidy, that means all they have to do is qualify income level-wise, we served 379 households with $52,935. In LIHEAP fall subsidy, last fall, again, we served 379 households with $52,537. LIHEAP crisis started January the 6th and is scheduled to end on March 27th. In order to qualify for crisis, you have to have a disconnect notice, a late notice, or be within 3 days of your bulk fuel, like wood, propane, something like that, running out. Since that started on January 6th, we have served 329 households with $95,206.74.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's still going.
Wow.
You guys last year, out of the goodness of your heart, you donated $750 to our agency, our community service program. That money was used to assist 5 households, or 8 individuals that lived in those 5 households. Of those 5 households, 2 households were assisted with first month's rent into affordable housing. 1 household was assisted with rental assistance to prevent eviction. And 2 households were assisted with emergency utility assistance. In this community, we also run Head Start. Our Head Start is down on Leestown Lane. We serve 70 children and their families with free preschool, meals, snacks, transportation, parenting classes, etc. BGCAP Transit. Hopefully all of y'all have seen all of my white buses that run all over everywhere. Over the last year, just in Franklin County, we made 55,883 trips for 1,389 Franklin County residents. Of these, 633 of those clients were Medicaid clients. So they were being taken to medical appointments through Medicaid. 756 were public or self-paid, and some of them, they could have been anywhere. They could have been us taking them to doctor's appointments. It could be us taking them to work. It could be us taking them to the store. It could be us taking them anywhere. Of those clients that received that received 40, of the Medicaid clients, 40,677 trips were done. Of the public trips, 15,206 trips were done just by self-pay. There are currently 11 self-pay clients utilizing our transportation to and from work here in Franklin County every day. Additionally, we partner with Franklin County Women's Fresh Start and Kathy's Place to provide group transportation. Group transportation with Franklin County Women's Fresh Start allowed women in recovery to have reliable transportation to and from AA meetings. Kathy's Place transportation provided impoverished children with experience they may not have had otherwise due to transportation being a barrier. So, guys, again, that's just that's what we do here in Franklin County for you guys. Part of it, it's not all of it. But again, I want to say thank you for the $750. That does go a long way. You know, we helped out 5 households with $750. So,
Well, Troy, thank you very much.
thank you.
I didn't know you all did all that. You know, you see the vans running around and that's, you know, but you all do a whole lot more than that. I'm going to ask, since Mr. Feldman's here, you've been on the board for a while now, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Would you like to add anything to court before I open it up, since you're here?
Yeah, I've served on the board for about maybe 10 or 12 years, and we certainly appreciate the work that Troy does. But I think you summed it up well, which is it has a lot of different business models under it, between Head Start and also BUS, the LIHEAP program, among others. It's amazing the work that Bluegrass Community Action does in not only Franklin County, but across the state. So, but you know, we're here to help. We're here to support the community. So if there's ways that we can help to improve certain areas of the community, please keep us in mind. That's what we're here for. We appreciate everything that each of you do, but working together is what it's all about. So, but thank you to everybody.
Good deal. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments while Troy and Mike are here? Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
I just wanted to thank you for the work that you all are doing with the Franklin County Council on Aging because of one of our buses. So I'm going to,
Happy to help.
I really want to thank you for that.
I signed a new lease today. So,
I am
yeah,
beyond,
We're happy to help.
I'm over the moon with that. Thank you.
And that brings up a good point, because you know, we don't try to be everything in every community. We work with all the nonprofits and ministerial associations and everybody else to help support them as well, because, yeah, that's makes more sense.
Good deal. Troy,
you.
Squire Westman, you have something?
Yep. Mr. Roberts, thanks for being with us. I wanted to compliment you for one. I kind of fell into helping a few citizens in our county and outside with some utility assistance primarily, whose heat had been cut off already this year. And previous years I knew where to direct them, and I was able to kind of tell them to go anywhere. And it was much easier this year than it has been. So you're breaking down your silos, I saw in first hand. And I think that was really helpful. So just wanted your opinion. You know, I've been trying to ask everybody that comes to us what the outlook is for the future with national politics and funding the way it is. And you all have such a substantial budget and such a substantial amount of work that you do so critically in this community that we lean on heavily for other programs. I'm wondering if you can give us any kind of a snapshot of anticipated budgeting problems in the next or the coming year that we need to consider, because we're getting ready to go into budget season.
Well, right now,
You got a crystal ball?
if
About right now.
if we had been having this conversation a year ago, you would have seen sweat breaking out on my forehead, and I would have been I was really nervous at that time, because there was a lot of talk about defunding several federal programs that we administer. So far, we've hung on to all those, and from what we're hearing at the federal level, that they still plan on funding those. So enough of our Congress people, and when I say ours, not just ours in Kentucky, because ours in Kentucky have been very supportive. They understand what we do, and they've gotten out in front, and they've said, now, hold on a minute, a lot of my constituents rely on this. We can't have this program going away. So far, we're doing okay, level funding.
Good.
So, going forward, so that'd be a good thing.
Troy, thank you very much for everything you do and coming in tonight. And Mr. Feldman, thank you for serving on that board.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. All righty, next I believe we have Mr. Mike Dees here at the Road Department. How you doing tonight, sir?
Wonderful. How about you?
Doing well. Thank you for being with us tonight. I guess you didn't have a choice, huh?
No, I didn't have a choice here.
It's a little different than everybody else. You have to be here, so sorry. It just sounded good. You know?
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You probably starting to wonder why you're here.
We, past couple of weeks has just been, we've had a couple pretty days, been some soggy weather. We've been hand opening up some culverts, cleaning out some drainage stuff, and then we went up the park and brung some tractors and bush hogs back, working on them, getting them ready for spring, and it's pretty much covered us.
What are the pictures about there?
They're cleaning some drains out.
Okay. Where do you all do? You just basically run all county roads?
Yeah, we
Wherever
bust the
you see
guys
one,
up.
you do it?
Just send them out running about every road. When they see one, they stop cleaning.
Okay. Well, good deal. Any questions or comments? So they're working on a bat wing there, it looks like. For Mike or the entire road department? I just want to say we appreciate everything you guys do. I know we don't say it enough, and we try to, but even just after all that snow and everything, you all handled it better than I feel like any county in this state. And I don't think this court or myself have gotten so many compliments after a nasty winter that we have this year. So well done to you and your team.
Well, thank you. We got a good crew, guys, and we appreciate y'all's continued support.
How's the building working out? The new building, are they happy with everything?
Oh, yeah, that makes it a whole lot nicer.
All righty. Mike, thank you very much.
Yep.
All righty. Next is the judge's report. On the 19th, we had kind of a going away party for Bobby Caudle. Super great guy, been in the county a long time, and there he is right there. So his main duties were kind of taking care of the courthouse over there. So I know our HR and deputy judge are in the process, and our maintenance director of interviewing for his job. So we hate to see him go. So we wish Bobby well. On the 20th, we had the ribbon cutting for the William Joseph Crisis Nursery. Want to thank the sheriff for being there. I believe Squire Dykes and Squire Tanner were there. So just to let you all know what it is, and that's Rachel Moore's kind of who came up with this. Their mission is to provide a safe haven for children during times of crisis, offering support, love, healing, and resources to families in need, ensuring the well-being of the most vulnerable members of our community. So, let me tell you, I go to quite a bit of ribbon cuttings, and that's not even probably half the people. There was a massive group of people, and it was everybody. It was bankers, it was everybody, nonprofits. That was one of the biggest ribbon cuttings I've been to, especially for something like that. So I appreciate the community for coming out. Most of us know that last week was FFA Proclamation Week, so I went to Western Hills and did a proclamation. But I know they had events. I know a lot of you all went to some events at KSU. They had events all week long, and let me tell you, that's one of the strongest organizations in I think our school systems that we have. So definitely appreciate all the mentors and teachers that help these students in both high schools. On the 25th, I did around town taping. I'm just going to buzz through some things that I talked about. Still bragging on Franklin County schools. They really brought their test scores up. They're kind of above average for the state now. So that's very good to see, especially when we start talking about quality of life. Talked about our park projects, housing, kind of how all those were going. Just a lot of the collaboration between Kentucky State University, city, county, state, with all the things we're working on. Park updates, we talked a lot about the new softball complex. They're still hopeful for October, but now we're getting some more weather, so we're kind of working through that. Working on the pro shop renovations. Those are coming very well, and I just want to say thank you to Jailer Hopper and Greg Fry, our maintenance director. They're really doing it out there. It's something we've talked about for a couple years, but it's going to be a great facility out there for the golfers in our community. But the Sapsor girls were there. They helped paint. They've really just kind of been a right hand to Greg and his team. So and they're very appreciative. You know, a couple of them have told me, we're learning skills we never knew we could do. And they'll be able to take those back to their communities and implement them. Capitol Plaza is working on the remodel. They've kind of started construction, so I appreciate everybody working on that with them. I do know the restaurant is open. I heard really good things about it, so if you're out and about, maybe go down there and get lunch. Another thing, we're getting the Long John Silvers out there in Jet, where the old 5-star is in front of the Spring Hill Hotel. So that's going to be happening. I believe they're going to knock it down and put a new one in. What else? We have Paddocks, Target's still open, you know, June of this year. They've also got Wawa, Chipotle, some other ones that are kind of under construction or at least settled on the property, so that's exciting. Aquatic center updates and all that. I know we have entered in an agreement with the school systems in the city and county. Just right before this meeting, we finished our last interview. We had 7 firms turn in bid proposals, so we're still working through those as a committee. So the committee's going very well, and everybody I think is on the same page. So when I have more information on that, I'll let you guys know. So but that's my judge's report. Not sure what that is. What is that, Andrew? I guess I'm getting to that. 25th, I went to Bluegrass Ad Executive Committee in Lexington. That's always a time to learn. Good. Did a Zoom call about the modern railroad. It was a good Teams meeting. It's the first one I think they've done. Kind of covered North America, but it was talking about how important the rail system is becoming even more like it used to be. We did have a Parks Committee meeting out there at the new park. Kind of walked around, looked at some things. That went well. This here, oh, I remember now. So this is interesting. This is Fred and Monica, and they're from Pennsylvania. And they've been working with Jenny, and they wanted to get married at J. Madley. They wanted to get married at a bourbon place. So I went mobile and went down there, and it was just them. They didn't want to be around anybody else, and we had a nice little ceremony, and they let them sign a barrel. So we wish them all the luck in the world. I did finally have the Duckers property closing for those 2 lots. So I went and signed those papers, and then today I went to the Rotary meeting at Capitol Plaza Hotel and spoke to about 30 people, just about things that are going on in the community, like kind of going over here. So that's the end of my judge's report. Alrighty, next we're going to keep moving. Anybody have any questions from our February 18th, 2026 minutes? Alrighty, seeing none. What about the minutes from our special meeting of February 24th, 2026? Alrighty, next we are lucky to have our very own Sheriff Dwayne Depp here with us tonight. How are you doing, Sheriff?
I'm feeling better, sir. Thanks.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're feeling better. A lot of people have kind of had some funk lately, huh?
Yes, I have too. So let me first start off, Judge, and the courts by saying thank you for having us here today. You have in your packet a copy of our quarterly report. If I could point out just a couple things to you, you may see where it's kind of separated. You can see what the previous sheriff, Sheriff Quire, spent during the first part of the year, and then you can see what I did from August 1 throughout the end of the year. And I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have any questions about the quarterly report.
Any questions for Sheriff Depp or his team on this report? Alrighty, keep moving.
All right, and then the next thing that I have is our audit. And I brought Ms. Michelle Fisher here with me. I just wanted to say to the court and also to the citizens of Franklin County, we had another successful audit. The 2024 audit has come back with no findings. So that is a long history of several years with no findings in our audit. And it's thanks to not only their previous Sheriff Chris Quire, but also Michelle Fisher and all the great work that she does. We know what the sheriff does, but as far as the accounting piece and the bookkeeping piece and the money piece, when you think about how many millions of dollars that we bring in and then we got to get back out and be accountable for everything, I just wanted to make sure that we give credit where credit's due. And a lot of that credit goes to Michelle Fisher and the staff that we have at the Sheriff's Department or Sheriff's Office and all the great work that they do.
Thank you very much. So we get to ask Michelle the hard questions.
If you got any questions, yes, she will be able to answer them.
You know, honestly, if I would've known she was coming tonight, I really would've came.
Really?
up, so, but-
And she may have a few things to say if that's okay, Judge.
Yeah, that's fine, go ahead, please, thank you for being with us.
I have a whole night for you, Judge.
You have
please.
5 minutes, but that's fine, take as long as you want.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you, Sheriff, for the kind words and your great leadership. We couldn't do it without you and your strong leadership. But I mostly want to thank the admin staff as well, that sit with me every day and crunch numbers with me. Even on their bad days, they're good days. And they're good people, and the community should be proud of the sheriff's office and the admin staff that take care of the citizens. And I want to publicly thank them.
Very nice.
They go short, sweet.
All righty. All right, what questions do we have for Michelle or Sheriff Dwayne Depp? Squire Sebastian?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you all so much for being with us. Can you give us an update on where we are with tax collection?
So, yes,
As we
I
roll in,
do
please.
have that. We are at 95.45% as of 4 o'clock today. We have 1,063 outstanding bills. They have until April 15th, of course, to pay those. So, get in, pay your taxes.
Do you know, that's a great question, thank you, Squire Sebastian. Is that, compared to this day last year, are we above or below?
So, we're right
Okay,
right there.
pretty close to where
Yeah,
we, okay.
yeah, I feel
Just
like-
curious.
Yeah, so.
All righty. Squire Tanner?
Trying to recollect and I can't. Is there a provision anywhere for partial payments?
No, there is not.
There's not.
No, I know once they're sold or once they're in bankruptcy, I know there's a payment arrangement through Max Conley's office, but on April 15th at 4:30, those go to the county clerk, and between Jeff Hancock and Max Conley, I think they work those out. Is that correct, Max?
That is correct.
Okay,
So it's now through April the 15th with the penalty, correct?
yes, it is with the penalty.
And then after the 15th, there's possibilities for some payment plans, but that penalty will be there. And if they aren't paid, then will be sold.
That is correct.
Good information. All righty. Again, we appreciate what you and your team do, and Sheriff, we appreciate your leadership and everything you do for
Yes.
Franklin County.
Thank you all.
I would just
Okay.
like to say one more thing. Back to the audit, they said that we owed $52 after all of the audit calculations. We took in a little over, between taxes and fees, about 65 million. So I can sleep at night, and we will have a check for $52
Yeah,
at the next court meeting.
All right.
So I
Sounds
just wanted to
good.
point
Amy
that
will be
out.
waiting for it.
Yes, I know she will. Now she's gonna be calling me because she's gonna be waiting for it. And then, and then Squire Sebastian, I don't know if you're gonna touch on the, our event.
I will.
Okay,
In
all
new
right.
business.
Okay, all right.
Sure will.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Alrighty, to do next, we have an audit in our packet from our county clerk, ended in December 31, 2024. He's not with us tonight, but I do know it is a clean audit, so if for some reason somebody has any questions, we can email that in, but it's a good thing that we just had 2 clean audits presented to us, so I think that speaks volumes, so we should all be proud of that. Next agenda item, I believe, is the agreement with the American Legal Publishing. I know this is codification, and I think we do this every year, but if we have any questions, I know Kim and or Max could answer. Squire Sebastian, hand?
Yes,
All
sir.
right, go ahead.
I do. Thank you, Judge.
Yep, thank you.
The agreement calls for 10 printed copies to be provided at a certain rate, like 19 cents a page, and shipping and handling to ship them to us. Is there a statutory requirement where we have to have a set number of printed copies on hand? I don't know who to ask it to.
Not that I specifically know of.
So
But I
I
can
guess
take
my
a look.
question is with those additional fees, do we need 10 printed copies since it is available online to everyone?
That's a good question.
because there's a specific area in here where it talks about, you know, how much it's gonna cost for, you know, per page and to be printed, and then shipping and handling fee on top of it, and, you know, so much an hour for them to work on it, so that would be whoever's copying it and taking it to the, so I'm just.
I don't think the hourly is just for those printed copies. I think that's.
No, the hourly is for a lot of things, but
It's
that is
every time
included.
it's drafted,
That's correct.
every time a new,
But any work on this whatsoever is included in that rate. So I'm just.
Do we need printed copies?
Yeah.
Is the ultimate question that I'm hearing. Not to put words in your mouth, but do we have to receive any hard copies from them? I'd assume one with a signature, right? But we'd get that regardless.
I can go and look by statute and see if it's required. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't recall anything, but
Yeah. No, it's good. It's a
I'm
good
just
question.
asking
Yeah,
why
no,
we have to
absolutely.
maintain it, because right now, we're going through things with it, so potentially, that's gonna change, so
Yeah.
that's more, whatever they're doing right now, we're gonna be doing it again in June,
Yep.
we're gonna be doing it again in May,
Yep.
so, I mean, there are,
Yeah.
I
No,
just
it's a
don't wanna
good
have to deal with
question.
fees.
Yeah. Barb Blackburn.
When we do the
Thank you.
rewrite with the zoning, that's gonna be
It
substantial.
sure will be.
But I think the way I understood it, Sherry, it says provide up to 10 copies. So if we ask for copies, we get those 10 in the rates that we've already discussed.
It does say up
But I
to.
don't think
It
we
does
have to
say.
have 10, do we?
It does say, but my question again is, do we need printed copies?
Yeah, that's a good
Why do
question.
we need them? You
I
know,
would I would recommend at least having one or two around, as everybody doesn't always have access to the internet.
I
No.
totally understand, so again, I'm
Yeah.
getting back to my question, so
Yeah.
we need them. How
Paper
many do we
revenue.
need? Because, you know, it talks to us about, you know, there is editing work, online updates, you know, that's whatever, $19 a page, and there's shipping and handling for printed pages, I mean, there's
Yeah.
fees associated with every task, as there are for every task that anyone does. I'm just trying to figure out if we. have
So
to
I
have
would
that.
say if, Max, you could
Statute.
research that and then we can adjust as necessary if the court's okay with that. Just to make sure there's nothing that says a certain amount. Bartender?
Once we finish with the work that's going on right now with the personnel portion of the code, that, I understand they're gonna use that as a employee handbook. So somebody's gonna have to copy it, or are you gonna send all the employees online, all the new employees? Or I guess we got a copying machine.
Yeah,
we'll
make
have to run
copies
that.
of it, yeah. So,
Yeah,
that's
but
just-
I don't wanna pay them.
yeah,
Well,
no,
it's-
yeah.
I have to look, I'm not for paying them for
At the
something we're
rate.
gonna do ourselves, I agree with that.
Correct.
But I don't know exactly how that was broken out, because it didn't break it out. Not
Okay,
that I
well-
noticed.
If it's okay with
I
the
could've
court, then
overlooked
Max will look into that and we'll make the necessary adjustments. Okay, Max?
I only need one recommendation from the court. On the internet updates, when would y'all prefer those being done? Last agreement was done quarterly.
And what
Judge-
exactly is that?
So if you look at choose a schedule for future updates,
That was my question. We have
Okay.
blanks
it's in the
on all
contract, it
these.
says
It is.
printed updates, printed book updates.
Yes.
Get
Once a year.
One, it says at least you have to do one a year. So that would
All
be.
right, so are they considering the year a calendar year, or are they considering on our state, because they're in Ohio? Is it our state year, or is it the federal fiscal year? What do they go on? Because we have to open it up every June. That's statutory requirement. So my presumption is we wouldn't want it updated until after we have done that. So perhaps we open it up in August, because July, there's a lot going on with everybody.
Yeah.
Closing
Well-
things out, tying
And
up the last.
does it say a date on there?
They email me every January
Oh, you
asking
want
to
it
print the
in time.
books. So I'm assuming it's calendar year.
Confuses me a
It is.
little.
Most legal updates are done on the calendar year.
Okay, so my assumption is, I would just put forth, we wouldn't tackle that until August. The rationale being, we by statute, have to open it up every June. So there could be 4 words that change in it.
I think when it says printed book updates, so that would be in
Still.
January, do you want one book, do you want 2 books, do you want, so, because it requires, if you look underneath the online services, it requires you to get at least one printed code book a year.
I think we just do the minimum, because everything's
Right.
online now.
So,
Go ahead,
so
Sergeant.
why wouldn't we want to tell me why we wouldn't want to do it as the ordinance is passed? And that's the last thing in there. That would be then after June, after we've reviewed it, all that, if we change it, if we make a new, then we
Yeah.
get it.
I think that's what we're all saying.
Yeah.
Is
So
the
then it's
month of
it's
June
a
is
check mark for that right here. It's just, I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to put a date certain in there, because they know we might change it any time the judge suggested we review it and change any month. So it should be as the ordinance is passed, look to me like. Tell me if I'm wrong, I'll be fine with not talking anymore.
Judge,
Go ahead, Squire Wilson.
can I recommend, we have a choose your schedule for future updates, printed versus internet. I think that an internet update should happen automatically upon passing an ordinance. There's no reason that we don't feed stuff directly to this company to update our website, that people have access to our ordinances when we change them. I'm fine with leaving it printed annually so that we get a book to file away in there that files, has everything updated. But I think in the modern age, that's a sufficient schedule, but we need to, that was my question, neither one of those are selected, and we need to verify that before
I
we
think
approve
we're
the
on the same
contract.
page here. Much internet,
Yeah.
only stuff we can do, whatever the minimum is, we have to have printed, that's what we'll do.
And this only speaks to the printing.
Yep.
So then we're saying that we're gonna have the internet updates as we
As
ordinances
we pass
pass.
ordinances,
Yep.
printed annually.
Yep.
So one book printed annually, internet updates as ordinance passes.
Yes. Unless you find Kara says something different, that we need more than one. But I think we can go ahead and move forward with this, as long as you get that.
I don't know of anything, and like I
Okay.
said, this contract requires at least 1 year, so
Okay.
it
Perfect.
says up to.
Do they update our clerk's office, their files with printed copies potentially?
When you say clerk's office.
Typically, all of our orders and ordinances, everything we do goes over to be filed at the clerk's office, right, as well
That,
as?
this doesn't have anything to do with that.
Okay. Just verify, didn't think so.
Alrighty. I think we're good. Appreciate that. It's a good conversation, Court. Alrighty, next, I believe Mr. Charlie Lewis is with us. Charlie, how you doing tonight?
Good.
We've had a lot of things going on out there at the park.
Busy,
What about that?
busy as we've ever been.
Yeah. Alrighty, so what are we
Thank you,
talking about
Judge.
tonight?
Good evening, Court. This next one is an authorization to utilize some available funds dedicated to the development of parkland located at 67 Buena Vista Drive. Kind of a next steps procedure, as we've had a recent meeting of the whole to talk about developing the property, the parkland over on Buena Vista Drive. This is a request to set aside some funds that we currently have in the budget to begin those procedures. The items purchased for each of these projects, driving range, disc golf, and bridge repairs, all invoices will be under the ticketed amount of $40,000, which will require us to actually stop and bid the process or that piece of equipment out. So we're going to do everything we can to keep everything under those numbers. We'll get several prices on a lot of items, but which we're already doing, especially for the driving range equipment. So I'll open it up for questions.
Okay. I appreciate you bringing this to us, and I can't speak for everybody else, but this is exciting. We've been talking about this for a couple of years now. We're finally to the point we have enough going on that we can address what we're doing. So I appreciate everybody's input and hopefully excitement. Squire Blackburn.
Yeah, Charlie, I just want to say, when we had that meeting of the whole and you presented as the park director, I don't think you've really ever had that opportunity to give us the full picture of what's going on, what you're doing, and I can see the excitement, and it made me excited.
Oh,
So you've put in the years. You could retire yesterday, but I feel like you're staying to see this through, and it's encouraging, and I'm appreciative. Thank you.
Yeah, this is expanding Franklin County's park footprint and what we represent and offer to your constituents. So anytime we can offer more, especially, we've been able to essentially raise some money to offset these expenditures, so it's a win-win.
If you think about it, it puts us over 250 acres of quality of life parks just in the county. So this court should be very, very proud of that. I see a hand on this side. No, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Squire Sebastian.
And just to echo what my colleague is saying here, Squire Blackburn, when we did the Parks Master Plan, it spoke to a number of things that we did not have the existing acreage at the time. We went ahead and made this purchase of this land, and so now we're trying to find the highest and best use for that across what the community spoke up and said they need. So
Definitely.
it is definitely a win to the direction of trying to put all of the programs that people have asked for out there and making them available to them right here in their backyard
Absolutely. Thank you,
for
Squire.
every resident of Franklin County.
And we'll, as we move forward with these projects, there'll be more requests down the road, so it's just the beginning.
Just the beginning. I like that. Squire Wisman, you had your hand up.
A couple of questions, I guess. First, Charlie, could you, this is the first time that the public's getting to hear. We had a committee meeting 2 weeks ago, right, I think? Or was it last week, that wasn't televised, unfortunately. So could you walk through what these improvements are, where they're planned to be, what the scope of them looks like? We have a driving range with an estimated $120,000 expenditure, a disc golf course, and $10,000 for existing bridge repair. And this is all at Duckers, at the land that the county owns there. Like, give me a scope for the public to understand what we're talking about spending money on.
Yeah, the driving range, it will require several pieces of specific equipment. So that's a lot of those expenditures there, with anything from T-mowers to driving range pickers, golf balls, golf ball dispensers, a lot of signage, and everything that kind of pertain. A lot of what we do at Lakeview, we're going to do this a similar setup at the Duckers driving range. And we just need some equipment to really get all that in shape and off the ground. The disc golf, will be working closely with the Frankfurt Disc Golf Association, and they have specific contacts about who does specific layouts and development of disc golf courses and how to create those, which could be a regional attraction for tournaments, possibly, hopefully. And then the bridge repairs. There's a couple bridges that go over some narrow areas of the lake that are just, it's addressing some safety issues where they need to be repaired and upgraded for things like walking paths development, or even the disc golf, for them to go from, hole to hole type. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
And Judge, I guess JW, maybe could you speak as the park committee a little bit about, this in no way is like the end all. This isn't all that we're going to do out there.
No, this is the tip of the iceberg start. In talking about the disc golf, that land out there has huge topographical changes. It has sloughs, it has narrow places, it has wide open spaces. So we're trying to look at it we can have specified ball fields like soccer, somewhere for the kids to get balls around. There's lots of different areas that can be used for different things. So we're trying to not pigeonhole ourselves for the future development of new programs and things like that. But this is like the driving range. There was already an existing one there. It's kind of low-hanging fruit. How many schools we got? 12 or 13, Charlie? Golf programs?
Oh, at least,
that are using the driving range at Lakeview, and we don't have enough tee boxes. So just for the schools to utilize this, they would, and then the community. Because if you go out there with your family, you don't want to be waiting to hit a bucket of balls because there's 50 people lined up trying to use, back to back. And the bridge repairs, I had mentioned at one of our meetings, I was like, I'll do that. Me and my students, it'd be a great project for the school. We'll go out there. The judge and I went out and looked. I played that course. It was my home course for years. I just don't remember the bridges being that big. One of them's 45 feet, one of them's 60 feet. Those are 3-inch timbers. They're oak. They're about 12 to 14 inches. They're about 300 pounds a piece. if they're dry and all that. And I talked to the road department the other day, and they unloaded them 2 days ago. Like, they picked those big boards up and unloaded, and I was like, yeah, me and the kids, I would be on the end of every one of those boards, and I don't think I'm up to it physically. So they have equipment and stuff they can do with that. But yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is actually low-hanging fruit. It's easy and affordable for us to do, but it gets the ball rolling, and it gives us, I think, direction of where we can add new programs as needed. You know, we're trying to follow the comp plan that the community did all the input on with the master plan for the park.
Thank you, Squire. All righty. Charlie?
Just, you know, this is $170,000 of 450 or something we have earmarked for the program, and I just thought it was important to sort of tell the public that we're exploring some things. There's places potentially we talked about cross-country the other day,
Yeah.
we talked about natural playgrounds, potentially new sporting fields for mixed-use type of sports, lots and lots of opportunity, and we've got a little money to do it, but there's just I suppose no formalized real plan yet, just sort of some of the low-hanging fruit to begin with. But it's still time for public input, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had a couple meetings, you know, with the public over that. So, Squire Taylor, did you have your hand up?
I did.
But not with decisions.
I'm not, since I'm not a disc golf player, do you always have to walk?
You do. It's a walking sport.
It's out there, huh, Squire? That's not your sport?
Not my sport.
But it's free.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's a walking, it's good for your
If
heart.
you gotta cross those bridges to play, I remember riding a golf cart over those bridges.
Take
I
it
didn't
from
realize how big they were.
Yeah, they're big. They're considerable.
Well, they drove, you know, big pieces of golf equipment across those bridges. They've got steel under them. Yeah, they're big.
Big steel, big wood.
But, Squire, what's
Just one more question, Judge. Should we maybe in some way formalize, I don't think we have yet, establishing this as a county park with formal boundaries through an ordinance or something? I mean, we own it, we're doing it, but I'm wondering if we should legally obligate ourselves somehow to stating that this is going to be a public park and whatever boundaries it is in perpetuity. So,
I don't
just
know.
a thought.
Autumn's not here. I'll be happy to talk to her tomorrow about that. That's kind of over my head, but yeah. Charlie, thank you. Appreciate you being here tonight, and thanks for all you do, and it's exciting to see all these things coming together for our citizens.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All righty, next I believe we have Ms. Alley with us. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. Good evening,
Thank you
members
for
of the
being with
court.
us.
You're welcome. What I have here first, I just have all my grants annually for the Division of Waste Management. So these are just our state ones that help pay for all my programming all year. The first one we have is the compost grant. There are some things that we requested last year that we didn't get, so I just kind of am requesting them again, like the track loader, skid steer for the road department. They really would like that up there at the compost pad. It would help with pouring scoops of compost into the trommel screener. So we'll see if they'll fund that this year. And then some more thermometers for more accurate data monitoring. And then we get that annual chipper service that comes out once a year and chips all the yard waste at once. Backyard composting program, the compost bins for my class, they get them free. They track their food waste all year. The class this year is March 16th, so two Mondays from now. That's at the River Room in Paul Sawyer Library. And so people can sign up for a free composter with that. And then classroom education, the kids love the vermicomposting and worms, so there's requests for funding with that. And then we're going to try to get ads this year again. Let me know if anyone has any questions about this grant application.
Allie, I just want to say thank you for all you're doing. How's the can drive going? I'm going to get off subject just for a minute.
Sure, we wrapped up, so it's like the first day in February to the end, and so Herd Elementary ended up winning.
Oh, they did?
Yeah,
Wow.
so they came in really strong at the end.
Wow. What about, they sure did.
We actually raised more funds than last year, which we're excited about. So it was about 360 something last year. This year it was about 550 something. And so we're working with her to schedule a photo op for the check, which will get approved next court, hopefully.
Very cool.
So
Thank you. All righty, so let's get back. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Any
No, you're
questions
fine.
for Ally on the grants?
We can transition into the recycling grant, since we're talking about the drive.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the next one, there's that TerraCycle plastic packaging box at the front of the Fiscal Court, so that can accept any type of food waste packaging. When we discussed the idea of a plastic reduction ordinance a year or two ago, a big concern for people was food packaging, like kind of not super flexible, like microwave trays, type 5 containers. And so that bin can accept just different types of food packaging that isn't curbside recyclable, because those are only bottles, jugs, and jars. And so we have 4 of those boxes, and they get switched out every quarter when they're full, so people shouldn't be too worried about filling them up. You can also throw plastic cutlery in there and straws, and so part of this application is requesting that again. So I was excited we got that last year. And I think it just brings awareness to what isn't curbside recyclable. If people are willing to take that step to come to the drop-off bin, they're kind of maybe thinking about plastic waste and utensils. And then applying for some more pop-up bins for classrooms for the recycling drive. And then also when we've been meeting with Franklin County schools, some schools have collection totes for classroom recycling and some don't. And so a way that we wanted to be a community partner is to provide totes for some schools that don't. And so I'm just curious to see if the state will fund that. So I applied for that. And then continuation of our Frank Waste app and advertising. Is there any questions about the grant?
I do want to give a shout out to the assistant school superintendent for attending these committee meetings, because Franklin County Schools is really trying to figure out how they can be better environmental stewards with us. I know it's a big expense trying to figure out, but they're kind of back talking about maybe getting, dishwashers, and reusable things. So I'm very appreciative that they're at least trying to work with us. So I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, was it Western Hills that is switching to reusable trays?
Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah, one of them, yeah.
Okay.
So they're going to try to start budgeting. Sorry, yeah.
No, yeah, it's exciting
Yeah.
that we're looking at reusable trays in the schools. They're trying to, with their budget, maybe
Yeah.
do one school per year,
Yeah.
so.
All righty. Any questions?
I have one,
Sure.
not necessarily about West related to this. The Kentucky Pride Fund, does that come from a surcharge at the landfill? Where that money comes from?
I'm trying to, I don't have it in front of me. I'm not sure if it's with the tire disposal fee. I'd have to look at the source of.
So you're asking who funds it, basically?
Pardon?
Is that your question, kind of who funds that program?
Well, yes, I'm trying to recollect that. Is that a fixed amount of money every year from the state, or is it flexible on how it's funded?
That's a good question. Yeah, I know, they're both called Kentucky Pride, the compost and recycling one, and I can't remember. So I can get back to you on that.
I may be the only one interested, but text me, or email me fine.
Squire Blackburn.
Okay.
It's funded by the $1.75 per ton fee on municipal solid waste.
Yeah, so it is a
There we go.
surcharge on
Yes.
the solid waste, so that would depend on how much goes to the landfill, how much money there is. But that's probably all the landfills, it's probably all in a state fund and divided out somehow through that. But anyway, it's not a fixed amount.
I think it's a capped amount. I think the legislature only gives a certain amount.
Well, they may rob it, they used to rob it every year.
And I'm appreciative of all the grants that you go after, that have matches that you all can make with in-kind and time and road department help.
It wasn't supposed to be, but it probably is.
Yeah.
It helps a
They'll
lot
rob
in our
it every,
community,
sweep it
and
every damn year.
it hadn't been costing us. So I really appreciate it.
Period.
Yeah, I am really thankful for these grants, and then we couldn't do it without the road department's help. It's always been so easy to hit that 25% match just with their hours, collecting limbs and things like that.
Perfect. All right, you got one more with us?
Yep, this is for the hazardous waste grant. It's mostly just funding for the vendor and advertising.
Any questions on the last one that Ally has here for us?
Our event this year is April 18th. So I'll put that flyer in your boxes.
Make sure you give it to Andrew, and we'll get that out there.
Ally, we talked about, did you ever get an answer about trying to do something in fall as well? Or everyone sort of does them at the same time? We were talking about sort of being problematic, right? That the whole state sort of seems to have hazardous waste at the same month in spring, but.
Were we looking at maybe September?
I think it was that for this. I don't know if it matters if you state in your application when we're going to do it, if it maybe opens up the program to a broader spectrum of people to use more regionally rather than just countywide or something.
I know, and October's such a busy time in this community.
Yeah.
And so I haven't booked a fall date yet. I'm open to doing September. If we do move it, it's been in October for, I don't know, 10 years at least. And so we would just have to really get the word out as much as we could.
All right, Ally,
Yeah.
thank you
All
for all
right.
you do.
Thank you, guys.
Yep. All right, next I believe Chief Brewer is with us. Good evening, Chief. How are you doing?
Doing well. Hope everyone in the court's doing well. So this item is authorization to surplusing equipment from the fire department. Just some stuff that we've replaced through the budgeting process. We've got several things that are old or out of date or beyond their life expectancy. We sent an email out with a list to all the departments to see if there's any use within other county offices. And this is the list that we had remaining once we had gotten that feedback. So, would like to see what the court's recommendation is. We do have some stuff that we think would be great for the fire science program at the CTC. Kind of let them go through, see what they can use, what they can't, and then whatever they can't, we could go back through and put on gov deals.
I may have already shown him the list.
Putting the cart in front of the horse.
No, I said, look, this may be coming down the pike, and he's very excited about it.
And we had some conversations, told him.
Yeah, he said that you all had
surplus,
spoken.
so.
But yeah, you like your tables and you got some computers or something. Like,
Yeah.
there's stuff, and you never know. I mean, we're building a house right now that they can do training in with smoke and all that stuff, so he's doing big things.
Cool.
Big things at the school.
Thank you. Squire Sebastian, you have a hand up?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Thank you for being with us, Chief. This may go to you and to our treasurer. So whatever is not utilized by either other departments, whatever is not given to another, to the school system, once it's sold, can the proceeds be directed back to Fund 17 directly for the fire service rather than going into the general fund?
They usually do.
I would want to ask that maybe the body
Absolutely.
dedicates that 100%, just to make sure that everybody's on board with that.
Yes,
Thank
any
you.
of the gov deals go back to the department. So
Yep.
the road it goes back to the road fund.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, Chief, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Judge?
Oh, I'm sorry, Squire Wiseman.
I just wanted to, I'm always pointing out that I think legally we're required by state to put serial numbers for any electronic items, and you've got some identifiers for computers that might be a county make or model or inventory ID number. I just wanted to make sure we subject surplusing these items to recording those appropriate numbers that I don't have here, but just make sure.
Yep. All right, thank you,
We'll
Squire.
sure do that.
Thank you, Chief. All righty, next we have Amy, our treasurer. How are you doing tonight, Amy?
Fine, thank you.
Great, thanks for being with us.
So I have the revenue and expense report as of February 27th in your packet. I do want to point out just some of our revenue lines, some of the larger ones. For real property taxes, we budgeted 7, received 6.7 million, and I think we're going to come very close to that. Sheriff said they're at 95.45, so I'm expecting a few more payments there. Payroll tax, we're at 76%. We've got one more quarter there. Same thing in the fire fund. The insurance premium tax, we're at 80%. We have one more quarter that we'll be collecting. Notice the distilled spirits, that's the bourbon barrel. We are, if you will, weaning ourselves from that with the expectation that that will be going away over the years. So you will see a surplus there of 1.2 million.
All righty. What questions do we have for Amy on this report? Please proceed.
The next agenda item is budget transfers. The first one is for the road, and that is contingent upon an agenda item that you have later. The second is fire for sick leave billing invoices. We budgeted for those. We put them in a contingency line, so I'm just moving that to the line that it needs to go to at this point.
Any questions for Amy on this transfer? All righty, thank you for being with us tonight. All righty, next we have payment of claims. Does anybody have any questions for Kim on payments? Squire Wisman.
Give me a second, Judge, sorry. The
Yeah.
Internet's lagging to upload everything tonight.
Okay.
There is one item that, I wanted to ask, we have a contract, I believe, countywide to provide like custodial items. And I wanted to ask him about this earlier. What departments use that and what departments don't? I'm seeing, two bills in here, and it's still not uploading, sorry, that has one with Bluegrass Custodial, is it, I believe it is, for paper towels, toilet paper, and et cetera, and then there's another bill later on that has like $1,000 for the same items bought through Amazon. I'm just wondering if we're meeting our contractual obligations with purchasing consistently through the same vendors. And again, I don't like buying from some of those sources generally, especially when we have some local preference procurement. So I just wanted to bring that up, and sorry, it's still loading.
Kim, do you have an answer to that, what the difference is between the one we have with our contract and then I'm trying to find it now, the one from Amazon? If it's the same things or if it's different things?
It all depends on the departments, on if they research or not. I believe we don't physically have a contract for cleaning supplies. I know I go through and look at various vendors to see which one's the best price, and I go with that.
Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. I am on general fund court bills, and it's page 2. The account is 0150911705. So it's IT data processing. It appears that maybe there is one set of headphones for a cost $250, and then there is Elegant Themes, this software. Can somebody just talk to us a little bit about what that is, just so we understand? Is it a lot of headphones? Is it one set?
That was one set of headphones, and that got returned today. It didn't work out.
Okay.
And as of the Devious software, Andrew will have to answer that one for you.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly.
It's software relating to our website. We recently had to switch hosting providers due to some technical issues with our previous hosting provider, and that is software that we need for our website. The Elegant Themes. It's a one-time purchase.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Kim? Alrighty, seeing none, authorization to go into closed session per KRS 61.8101CF. Discussions were proposed by pending litigation against or on behalf of a public agency. Discussions or hearings which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Alrighty, we're going into closed session. go back into open session?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We are in open session court. Next agenda item is for our road department. Mr. Mike Dees is going to come up and talk about the floor thing we have going on.
All right.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, seemed like it's been no time.
Yeah.
The new floor in the shop down there, it's got dangerously slick, and it's chipping up on us bad, and we've had a guy come in and give us an estimate to do it, and when he does it this time, it's gonna have some grit in it for better traction and stuff. I think it's just gonna be better all the way around.
Okay. So this is obviously our new facility. I think everyone thought the epoxy was going to be the best thing, but no one really kind of informed us that it's extremely dangerous and slippery. So he's going to come in, grind it down, and then put some better adhesive kind of on it.
And we went to, he did a test strip at the Anderson County State Highway garage, and we went and looked at it the other day, and seemed like a whole lot better. It was a whole lot more traction than what we got.
Okay. Squire Blackburn.
I know with that, there's a balance between being able to clean it, because the smoother it is, the cleaner you can get it. But having enough grit where you don't slip and fall and have spills like that, so I'm sure they were all over that.
Yeah.
That's a big concern.
And I do appreciate the guys keeping that shop clean. It's nice to go down there, and they took pride in it. So I know that was a concern of ours, so yeah, we appreciate that. All right, any thoughts on this from the court, or any questions? Squire Wisman.
Judge, this one's a little bit of a pill to swallow. I remember having a lot of conversation about going extra and spending a little more and doing something that was going to create longer, easier cleaning and longevity. And do we have any kind of warranty guarantee? Because at the time, I remember, sort of being promised that this was an option set aside by our contractor that was going to provide so much more, and it's in the end costing us double. Is there any leeway there, since they just finished this building, that this wasn't maybe properly installed or something?
Mike, any thoughts on that? I don't know.
I wasn't here when they did it, but I mean, the floor it's just slick. It's dangerous.
That's the first thing I thought when I walked in the completed building.
It looks good, and it does clean good. It cleans real easy, and this probably won't clean as good, but we shouldn't get hurt working in it.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it at the road department, the committee, and obviously we have some of the same thoughts that Eric does. We probably shouldn't have put it in the first place, but we did. And now people are falling down, they can't stand up, having to hold on to equipment with one hand and their tools with the other hand to get around in there when it's a little damp and thing, and it cannot go on like that. So you were gonna check that test spot.
We went and looked at it, and
how big a spot was that?
He just did it was probably 10 by 20 spot down there at the Anderson County State Highway shop. And we took Travis, because Travis is a mechanic, he'll be the ones crawling around on it.
Yep.
And he said it's not gonna be as easy on his knees, but at least he'll be able to stand up. So.
Get him some knee pads.
Yeah.
We've got two bids that I just wondered, could somebody elaborate, because the cost is double for one versus the other, or were they effectively the same thing, just different providers installing, or different, because the costs are effectively the same?
It's pretty much the same thing, just different people bidding it.
Okay. Thanks.
And Squire, I'm right there with you. I mean, we hate to double pay on something, but I think the other one, was told it was gonna be great, and it's nice and easy to clean, but, at the end of the day, I think we've been pretty fortunate that building. I mean, it's a $6 million building, and, if this is the only thing that I'm gonna say we kinda got wrong, it's not too bad, but I think we need to fix it before anybody gets hurt, because then we're gonna have bigger problems.
One more question.
Go ahead, Squire Tanner.
Are we gonna have to be out of pocket now? People, it's gonna interfere very much with,
Nope.
with your work?
He said he'd work around us and we'd plan accordingly. He would work on one bay while we was working in the other, and we'd just, him and Travis talked, it'd be no trouble.
All righty, thank you.
Yep.
Well, next don't go anywhere. Next, we have a promotion from heavy equipment operator to foreman. You wanna talk about that? Oh, is that Francis?
Yeah, I thought she was gonna do it.
She can do it, y'all can do it together, whatever you wanna do.
We'll do it together. Yeah, this is to promote Dustin Smither to foreman. You recommended him, we've interviewed him. The interview went well. It would be for an increase of $1.76 an hour, which is what prior candidates have received, so it's equitable as far as an increase.
Just out of curiosity, how many gentlemen put in for the promotion?
Him,
Just one? Really? Okay.
I think he was the only one eligible, wasn't he?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions for Francis or Mike on this promotion? All righty, thank you. All righty, Francis, I believe you're still with us.
Yes, I
So
am.
let's talk about this next one.
Okay, this is to approve a resolution authorizing the county judge executive to sign an interlocal agreement with the city of Frankfort for sharing of animal control services. Leslie Page resigned recently. He has been out probably for the past year. He was the one providing animal control services. Due to medical reasons, he really hasn't been able to do that, and he finally resigned. Richard Sandifer has been doing his job as well as code enforcement. And what we want to do is he will do services for the city as well under their ordinance, which is primarily cats. And they will pay half of his salary. They will also provide $10,000 towards the maintenance of a truck. And that would go from a salary increase to 24 and some change to $30 an hour. The city would also pay half of his salary. So that would be annualized $58,500.
Squire Blackburn.
So was this, the increased salary amount was what was discussed with the city, or was it something else and then we're raising it?
This is an increase that we thought would be fair for him to do the additional duties, not only for the county, but for the city as well. And then splitting it with the city, it's still very reasonable.
They're splitting the total amount though, aren't they?
The total, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
No brainer.
All righty.
Judge.
Go ahead, Squire Wisman.
I guess question maybe just a bit more for you. The role of the code enforcement we thought was going to be fairly significant. I know that the role of, well, let's say what the role of animal control officer should be within this community should be significant. Richard has filled in both of those just because of necessity for a very long time. But I'm wondering your thoughts on, in my mind, we need 2 full-time people for this. You know, odd that the city says that it's insufficient to justify filling of a part-time position, but they're contracting with us to fill a part-time position at the same time in the same ordinance, but that's semantics, I suppose. But I'm wondering about how this might play out in the long term. You know, the argument for the 2 part-time positions was to have some coverage nights and weekends. It never functioned as it should have. But how are we going to manage?
That's a good question. So we've had long discussions with Autumn, who is his supervisor, Deputy Kennedy, the sheriff, Captain Wills, because they all work together with him currently. Because one of the things we were worried about is overloading somebody. When we had talked to Mr. Sanford, he informed us that there's not that as many calls that the previous people in those positions had said. We've talked to the Humane Society. They're ecstatic of how things have been going for the last 6 months since he's been taking it over. So I know Autumn has met with Vicky, looking at timesheets, because he will be going out sometimes at nights. So we're going to keep a very close eye on him, how he prioritizes, and if for any reason we feel like one area is not doing enough or he's slacking in another area, then that's when we'll come back and make adjustments. But we've had 2 or 3 pretty detailed meetings with him to talk about workload and how that looks, and if he thinks he's biting off more than he can chew. But as of right now, he said it's really not a problem. So, Francis, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, there have been extensive discussions with him, and he doesn't foresee any problems in the future doing both.
My concern isn't Mr. Sanford at all. I'm completely confident in him, but my thought is succession or the future, where we go with effectively, we had 2 full-time positions that we're creating into one, and how that serves us really, I don't know. Thanks, I guess just more alliteration than anything.
Yeah, no, and I think in that position, it's always going to change. As this community grows, we're probably going to need somebody else, and we'll just have to address that in the next couple of years. But for right now, the immediate need, I think we're going to be just fine. Squire Tanner?
I think I understood some conversations we had that Richard believes that he can handle this fine. And, there's certainly no reason not to give him a chance. If it doesn't work out, we can cross that bridge whenever we get there.
Been doing it already.
Yeah.
Doing it already.
Quite some
Plus,
time,
he's directing
yes.
traffic at the
Off
school.
and on for a long time.
He likes working.
Yep, all righty. Francis, thank you. And then the
Thank
last
you.
one, I guess if anybody has any questions on the actual resolution, go ahead, Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. So on page, there's no page number, sorry. Under compensation and performance, which is 3A, if you go to the following page where that starts, where it says, the county shall maintain insurance, cover all claims, loss damages, et cetera, et cetera. So my question is, if there is a matter of hoarding of animals, and it goes through the court system, and we have to hold those animals at the Humane Society for months, as we've had to do, will the county, and if that hoarding situation happens within the incorporated area of the city,
That's a great.
will we, the court, because of this agreement, be bound to pay for something that happens in the incorporated area of the city?
I'm gonna lean on, that's a great question, because we just went through that a couple years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
And it was extremely expensive.
It was almost, yeah. So, county attorney's gonna get caught up here, because that could be, in my eyes, something that needs to be changed in this
I
agreement.
just want to make sure,
No, it's a
because I don't
great-
know
yeah.
how broad,
Yeah,
it was 3A.
3A on the second page.
And,
Or
and
the
so
acronym.
3A spills over, it begins at the bottom of one page. This isn't numbered, so I can't direct you to a page number. But then it talks about the county shall maintain certain things and be
Yeah.
responsible for certain
Yeah.
things. So I just want to make sure that this
If
situation.
it happened in the city, then
If
they
it
should help
happens
cover that, yeah.
in the incorporated area of the city,
Yep.
But
that
it's-
this should not cover and make the court
Yeah.
responsible for
Yeah.
that bill,
No.
while the animals, I'm
No, go ahead.
sorry,
No, please finish, yeah.
while the animals are duty bound to be held.
Right.
And then the rate at the Humane Society, we know that is expensive.
Yeah. Squire Tanner, you have something to add to that?
No, I got a question. I agree with what Squire Sebastian's saying, except I think that says in here, it talks about we're gonna have to maintain insurance. So, which
It
is
does.
not.
It says that. That's the first thing I
That's what it
read.
says, so I don't know that insurance is what we need to cover the cost of storing any animal that might be in some kind of violation within the city limit. And maybe that ought to be added in there somewhere. It sure should be, but I don't know that area right there, because it talks about insurance.
So
Because
Deputy Judge, sorry, real quick, just made the comment, and I think he's right, that the city will continue to have their agreement with the Humane Society. And I think those things are covered under that agreement. Just, but we need to make sure, I'm with you, to make sure this doesn't cancel that out. I'm with you.
I'm not,
Mr. County Attorney,
I
go
think
ahead.
it needs to be added in here also.
Yeah.
I don't know that there, because it talks about maintaining the insurance, but
Yeah.
somewhere.
It does, but it
somewhere.
talks about a variety of things here.
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure
No,
that
that's a.
the full
hey,
range of protection is offered to this body who is stepping up in good faith to do something, and you just don't want that good faith.
I think it's a great thing.
To be turned.
Mr. Conley, what are we gonna do?
I don't see how a reading of that could be considered for the county to take that over, as it does speak about maintaining insurance to cover any claims or losses.
Yep.
That would be from, say, going into somebody's house and improperly taking an animal or something like that, and the county were to get sued, or, should somebody doing animal control gets injured on the job, and that's the
Bit.
insurance that it's
But
talking
let me
about.
ask
But
you
that's
this, is
the
there somewhere else
insurance.
in that document that we could put, something about that? Or even just to make sure that the agreement they have with the Humane Society is gonna continue to stay in place, or something like that? Squire Blackburn?
Yeah, I'm only raising the
Yeah.
issue for that, because I understand that this talks about insurance, but my point is, I don't know if it goes far enough.
Yeah.
If this language, because if you're bit, you know, or scratched, or you trip over something,
Yeah.
trying to ensnare an animal.
Yeah.
I mean, there are any number of situations that the insurance
Workers' comp.
would
Yeah.
handle.
Yeah.
Yes, to Squire Tanner's point. My only thing is stepping this out to something that has happened to this body.
Yeah.
And it was a considerable expense that
Yeah.
no one had budgeted for.
Yep.
We just don't want to walk into a situation like that because of an agreement, and we didn't foresee that coming. I don't know how to say it.
Max, do we
any more
add that somewhere in there,
clearly.
just to reassure that? And I don't think they'll have any problem with it.
Yeah.
We just need to say something about, you know, if, whatever your legal stuff is, you know, as far as.
Whatever your legal
Whatever, you know,
stuff
you,
is.
that's what you do. You know, just work your magic.
Whatever your
agreement the
legal
city has-
stuff is.
The
Like I
agreement
said,
the city has with the Humane Society, we want to make sure that this doesn't supersede
Correct.
and take any
Responsibility.
responsibility
Look at
away
number
from
B.
them and the animals that are harbored in the city and the ones
Yeah.
opposed to the county.
You
Right?
know, as
We
we
want to make sure it doesn't
look at,
violate that.
excuse me,
Squire Tanner, you're fine, go ahead.
under D, go down to D, and it says each party to this agreement shall maintain insurance to cover any and all claims, losses, et cetera. So then it says we're gonna do it, and it says each party's gonna do it.
But it's not the
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not,
not an interest.
the only thing that makes us liable to the Humane Society is the agreement that we have with the Humane Society, and that's where that comes in. So
Yep.
that agreement with the Humane Society is not superseded by this agreement, but I can put more specific language if that's what the court so chooses.
I think that is what the court would like. If you could add a
Absolutely.
little juice to it, just to make sure, I think everybody sleep better tonight.
Sounds perfect.
Is the court okay with that?
Do what? Excuse me?
Yes.
Max is gonna add some verbiage just to
Okay.
make sure that the agreements in place currently with the existing Humane Society stay in place for both parties, and that supersedes what this says. Squire Wisman.
Judge, sort of related to what I brought up as a concern, effectively, we have one person to fulfill this role, and I don't want to get into a situation where a contract could be read as we're providing 24/7 coverage of the city and the county. If that is the case, then we get into a whole situation with having a person that's on call full-time, 24/7, right? And from experience with the last situation that we had with the city, you know, there was a division of hours, and there was coverage that didn't happen, and you would make a call and say you're gonna have to wait 2 days to make a call, or someone had to leave a position for a certain amount of time. My concern is just generally that the contract between us doesn't state what our coverage will be and our response, and I don't know if there's any way to flesh that out a little bit more here too, like stating that we will have a 40-hour work week, or that we'll provide coverage on cases ongoing basis as necessary. I don't know what that looks like, but my concern is just that we sort of seem to be setting ourselves up to cover all the time, the whole county, 24/7, and that's not what we're able to do, and it doesn't state that we have anything else here.
And all I can say, just from the last 6 to 8 months when he's been
Yeah.
doing it, there hasn't been an issue.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, there's
I
no
get that.
issue at all, so, I mean.
But people
we discussed that.
get sick, people, have to take
Well,
time
that's
off
another-
work.
Thank you for that.
Discussed it.
Yeah.
We're cross-training too, so Captain Wills is looking at some training for both canines, because obviously Mr. Sanford could get sick or something,
Right.
so I believe the city canine,
Yeah, we
the
did.
county canine, and we're trying to get somebody from the Humane Society to all get cross-trained in handling dogs and cats. So it won't just be him, so if he's not available, somebody else could be called out there. So we are trying to lighten the load
Okay.
and
That makes me feel better.
make
than
sure it's
this.
covered, yes.
Those, all the things that you brought up were discussed and
Mike,
the thing not being, I mean, I'm sorry.
That's okay. JW shut it off, he's messing with you.
We discussed that because there was a full range of, a considerable conversation about, what has to happen on off hours. And if someone has to work 6 hours at night, then they can adjust, they flex the schedule appropriately. If it's at the end of the pay period, you figure that out going, so there was a considerable amount of discussion about that.
It's all good. I think we're all on the same page. Thank you, great discussion. Alrighty, other business. Anybody have any other business for us tonight? Squire? Sebastian.
I apologize,
No,
Judge.
don't
Thank you.
apologize, it's all good.
I just bring to the court's attention again, the Easter, the 7th annual Easter at Lakeview, which will be Saturday, the 28th of March. Hunts begin at 1 p.m. And it is a great way to come out with your family and experience all of the changes that are going on and see them with your own eyes at Lakeview. There are a number of community partners involved in this, which we discussed at the last meeting. But again, there is a registration that is online, so that, and we're all promoting the online registration, just so we have a sense of how many people will be in each age category. Certainly that doesn't preclude anyone from coming that day and hunting. Just everything will start at 1, so please be there as soon as you can. If there is some kind of inclement weather that day, it will be pushed back to the 29th, which is the Sunday. Same start time at 1 o'clock, so we'll see everybody at the Hancock Pavilion, and appreciate all the partners that have stepped in across the community to make this happen. And again, there's a lot of eggs. There will be a sensory area, and again, I thank the court for stepping up and assisting with that, and personally taking that on as a body to make sure that any member of any family can come out there and participate in a free event right here in your backyard.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for working on that too, Squire Sebastian. Any other business before we go into voting session? Seeing none, we're going to go ahead and go into our voting session. Clerk, please call roll.
Squire Sebastian.
Here.
Squire Blackburn.
Present.
Squire Dykus. Squire Harrod.
Here.
Squire Tanner.
Here.
Squire Whitman.
Present.
Judge Miller.
Present. Thank you, Clerk. Authorization for approval of minutes from the regular meeting of February 18th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization for approval of minutes from the special meeting of February 24th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive the sheriff's quarterly report ending December 31, 2025.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive the report of the audit of the former Franklin County Sheriff for the year ended December 31, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive the report of the audit of the Franklin County Clerk for the year ended December 31, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve the agreement with American Legal Publishing.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to utilize available funds dedicated to development of the parkland located at 67 Buena Vista Drive to develop a driving range estimated at $120,000.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to utilize available funds dedicated to the development of parkland located at 67 Buena Vista Drive to develop disc golf estimated at $40,000.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to utilize available funds dedicated to the development of parkland located at 67 Buena Vista Drive for bridge repairs estimated at $10,000.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a resolution authorizing the filing of an application for 2026-2027 Kentucky Pride Fund composting grant funds with the Kentucky Energy Environment Cabinet Division of Waste Management.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a resolution authorizing the filing of an application for 2026-2027 Kentucky Pride Fund recycling grant funds with the Kentucky Energy Environment Cabinet Division of Waste Management.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a resolution authorizing the filing of an application 2026-2027 Household Hazardous Waste Management Grant Funds with the Kentucky Energy Environment Cabinet Division of Waste Management.
So moved.
Second.
Did you get that, Clerk?
Tanner.
Yep. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve the surplus of equipment for the fire departments.
So moved.
Second. I'm sorry.
Did you get it, Clerk?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive treasurer's report.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve budget transfers for fiscal year 2025-2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Payment of claims. Is there a motion to deny payment of any claim? No motion was made. Let the records reflect claims are to be paid. Authorization to approve the resurfacing garage floor at the road department.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a promotion of Dustin Smither from heavy equipment operator to foreman.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Congratulations, Dustin. Authorization to approve a salary increase for Richard Sandifer for code enforcement officer.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve resolution authorizing the county judge executive to sign an interlocal agreement with the city of Frankfort for sharing animal control services as amended by our county attorney.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to adjourn.
So moved.
Oh,
Just
I'm
a
sorry.
question back about that one, is that going to be subject to the amended language that the county attorney is going to provide?
As amended? On that last one that we did?
That's what you read.
That's what I said, right? As amended by the county attorney.
I didn't hear you say that, okay.
Yeah, I said as amended by the county attorney.
Thank you.
Yes, that was in there.
Did I call vote on that, right?
You
Yes.
did. It was
No,
Yeah.
Subject to the.
Yeah, but to adjourn. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Second. I'll
Second to
it.
adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Thank you, Court. Great meeting. We're adjourned.